Good morning, dear students. Yesterday we discussed about scalars, vectors, vector additions, subtractions and vector fields. So now we have to discuss about vector products. So there are two ways in vector products. So those are, the first one is dot or scalar product, the second one is cross or vector product. So the result of the dot product will give a scalar value so that it can be called as scalar product, and the result of the cross product will give a vector so that it can be called as vector product. So dot product or scalar product and cross product or vector product. So coming to the dot product. So let us take a vector A and let us take a vector B, and let us assume the angle between A and B are theta AB. So now we know the magnitude of A and magnitude of B and the angle lying between A and B. So then how we can able to calculate dot product? So here let A and B are the magnitudes of the vectors A and B, and the angle between them is theta AB. Then the dot product is exactly equal with the product of magnitudes of A vector and B vector and cosine angle lying between them. So what is that? The dot product is exactly equal with the product of magnitudes of A bar and B bar and cosine angle lying between them. So dot product will give a scalar value. That means it will use a scalar value. So it's a scalar. So it contains only magnitude. So we no need to talk about direction here. So the dot product can be equals with the products of A, B and cosine angle lying between them, and it can be expressed as the following. So A bar dot B bar is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cosine angle. What is the angle lying between them? Theta AB. So it was theta AB. So this is the case. What? This is the case here. We know the magnitudes as well as angle lying between them. So now different case. So what is the different case is? Now let the vectors A and B are like this. A bar is equal to AX bar plus AY bar plus AZ bar. So this is the rectangular coordinate representation. I already told you. So in the rectangular coordinates there are three axes X, Y, Z. So we have to represent any vector in the form of X, Y and Z. So here AX bar, AY bar and AZ bar, small letters, or can be called as unit vectors in the direction of X, Y and Z. So A bar can be expressed like this, and B bar can be Bx Ax bar plus By Ay bar plus Bz Az bar. So now how we can able to express dot product between these two? So then A bar dot B bar can be expressed as, simply we have to multiply the components. So X component to X component, Y component to Y component and Z component to Z component. Thereafter we have to all those products of components. So A bar dot B bar will use AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. So I think you already know this. So the next one is, so whether the dot product will follow the commutative law or not. So if the result of A dot B bar is equals with the B dot A bar, then it will follow the commutative law. So A bar dot B bar will use AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. And what is the result of B bar dot A bar? It is BX AX plus BY AY plus BZ AZ. So the both are same. So the dot product is also following the commutative law. So here we need not to talk about associative law. Why? Because in product we need not to talk about associative law. So what are the applications of dot product? So before doing anything you have to know the application of that one. So what is the application here? So by using the dot product you can able to identify vector components of the any vector. So I already told you what is meant by a vector component. So Ax, Bx, let us take vector A. In that the first term is Ax bar, capital Ax bar. So in that capital Ax is the vector component. If you want to identify the vector component in the direction of Ax bar, then we have to multiply the A bar with the unit vector Ax bar. Then it will give the component. So simply, if you can able to multiply a vector with the unit vector, it will give a component in the direction of the given unit vector. So it will give the component. So in the coordinate system, you can easily identify this application. After doing the problem only, you come to know this application. So next one, using the dot product, angle between two vectors can be identified. So how we can able to identify the angle? So in the previous session you see that A bar dot B bar is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cosine angle between them. So if you know the magnitudes as well as vectors, what you can do? The cosine theta AB is equal to A bar dot B bar divided by magnitude of A and magnitude of B. So that in that way you can able to identify the angle between two vectors. So this is about the applications of dot product. So by using dot product, just remember here, you need to remember. So we can able to identify vector components by using dot product, and then we can able to identify the angle between two vectors by using dot product. So this is the application of dot product. So you can easily understand this application by doing the problems. And see here, I gave a problem here. So the given points A, B and C, we need to find RAB dot RAC, and in the second one we need to find the angle between RAB and RAC, and the length of the projection of RAB on RC, and the vector projection of RAB on RAC. So now I can explain briefly how to do this problem. Thereafter, after completion of this video, I can able to solve the problem. I can post a video for this problem. No problem. So just see how to do this problem. Try this problem at home. So there are 3 points given. Point A, point B and point C. So now we have to represent the vectors small RA bar, small RB bar and small RC bar. What are those vectors? Small RA bar is 2 into AX bar plus 5 into AY bar plus, not plus here, minus AZ bar. So simply write those components. So 2, 5 and point minus 1 is the point over there. So this vector will becomes 2 into AX bar. So that means in the X direction 2 is the component, Y direction 5 is the component and minus 1 is the component in Z direction. So small RA bar can be written as 2 into AX bar plus 5 into AY bar plus minus AZ bar. So that is small RA bar. In a similar way, RB bar is 3 into AX bar minus 2 into AY bar plus 4 into AZ bar. Similar way, RC is minus 2 AX bar plus 3 AY bar plus AZ bar. So now we have to identify RAB and RAC. So how can able to identify the vector RAB? So RAB is equal to, now we have 3 vectors, small RA, small RB and small RC. So RAB is equal to small RB minus RA. RAB is equal to small RB minus RA. So that you can able to identify RAB. So similar way, RAC is equal to small RC minus small RA. So in that way you can able to identify RAC. So by using the dot product definition, so you can have RAB components as well as RAC components. So by multiplying the X components and Y components and Z components, after that we need to add those all components, that will give us RAB dot RAC. Likewise, here. So this was. So here what we did, so Ax is the component and Ay is the component, Az is the component of A. Those three components are multiplied by Bx, By and Bz, and thereafter we added all those products. So in the similar way, here we have the components of RAB as well as RAC. So we need to multiply the X components, Y components and Z components, thereafter we need to add them. So it will give dot product between RAB and RAC. So now we need to identify the angle between RAB and RAC. Now we identify the dot product. So what we know, A dot B we know. So and we can also identify the magnitudes of RAB as well as RAC. How can you able to identify the magnitude of RAB? So magnitude of RAB is equal to square root of component 1 square plus component 2 square plus component 3 square. We already defined this in unit vector definition. So in that way we can able to identify the RAB magnitude. Similar way RAC magnitude. So those magnitudes can be product. So it will give a result that can be divided with RAB dot RAC, so that we can get cosine angle between them. So now we need to identify the angle. So that what we have to do? We have to take cos value to that side. So cos inverse of obtained value will give us the angle. So the length of the projection of RAB on RC. So what we have to do at this time? So that means RAB on RAC. Now on RAC means we need to identify the unit vector regarding to RAC. So on RAC means we need to identify the unit vector regarding to RAC. So how can you able to identify the unit vector of RAC? RAC divided by modulus of RAC. So that we can able to identify unit vector. So let us assume that unit vector is A1 bar. So now we have A1 bar. If you multiply that A1 bar with RAB bar, we can able to get the length of projection, and it is also can be called as vector component. RAB vector component in the direction of RAC. So this is the application we already see. So vector component also can be called as length of projection. So what we have to do here? We need to identify the unit vector in the direction of RAC. That will come RAC divided by modulus RAC. Thereafter, we need to divide that with magnitude of RAC, so that we can able to get the unit vector in the direction of RAC. After that, what you have to do? That unit vector we need to multiply with RAB by using dot product, so that we can able to get the length of projection, which is also can be called as vector component. So the next one is the vector projection of RAB on RAC. So then what we have to do is, now we got some vector. What is that? Some length. So now we have to identify the RAB on RAC. So you already identified the unit vector in the direction of RAC. If you multiply that unit vector with the RAC means we can get the vector projection of RAB on RAC. So this is the way this problem can be done. So try this problem at home, otherwise I will show in the next video. No problem. So next one is cross product. So what is meant by cross product? So here the previous one is dot product, so it was giving the result of scalar, so that can be called as scalar product. So but here it was the cross product. The cross product will give a vector result, so that it is also can be called as vector product. So again take vector A and vector B, and the angle from A to B is theta AB, and let, so the same things here, let AB are the magnitudes of the vectors A and B, and the angle between them is theta AB. So now how can able to define the vector product. See, the vector product or cross product will give a vector result. So that if we need to talk about a vector, we need to talk about two things. The first one is magnitude and the second one is direction. So in the previous case, it will have only magnitude. So we thought about only the magnitude. So but here in this case, but we need to talk about both magnitude as well as direction. So what is the magnitude here? So the cross product magnitude can be equals with the product of A, B and sine angle lying between them. So in the previous case cosine angle, cos angle, here it was sine angle. So that will give the magnitude. So what about the direction? So direction is perpendicular to the plane that contains A bar and B bar vectors. So let us assume the surface, your standing surface is containing A and B bar vectors. So the surface is seeing upward direction. So the upward direction is perpendicular to the plane that contains A bar and B bar. So the direction of A bar cross B bar will give the perpendicular direction to the plane that contains A bar and B bar. So this will be explained in the right-handed screw rule later. So A bar cross B bar is equal to modulus A bar and modulus B bar, the sine angle lying between them into A n cap. So modulus A bar and modulus B bar, sine angle lying between them will give a magnitude, and then thereafter A n bar. So A n bar is nothing but direction. So magnitude into direction will give A bar cross B bar. So how we can able to calculate A n bar? We can see later. So now this is in the previous one we know that if you know the magnitudes and angles, now we will directly know the vectors. Then what we can say? So before that we need to know about right-handed screw rule. So I told you how we can able to find the direction of A n bar. So let us see. Let us take a vector A bar and a vector B bar, and the angle lying between them is theta AB. So it is right-handed screw, means we have to place a screw where the A and B are joined. So we have to place a screw out there. So what is the function of this screw is, if you rotate that screw in the clockwise direction, it will go in the downward direction. If you rotate that screw in the anti-clockwise direction, it will rotate upward direction. So it will go in the upward direction. Clockwise direction, if you rotate that in clockwise direction, it will go in downward direction. If you rotate that screw in anti-clockwise direction, it will go in upward direction. So here, in which way we have to rotate? See that the angle theta AB is coming from A to B. So that is clockwise direction. So we have to rotate the screw in the clockwise direction. So if you rotate the screw in the clockwise direction, what will be the resultant direction? The screw will go in downward direction. So that is the resultant direction. So this is the resultant direction, and that is the direction of A n cap. So AB is lying in the plane of surface and A n bar is perpendicular to the plane that contains both A and B bar. So this is the way you have to justify by using right-handed screw rule. So what it was telling? So if the screw rotates clockwise direction, it will go downward. That means A n will be in downward direction. If it will go anti-clockwise direction, the A n will be in upward direction. So for example, if the angle is making from B to A, then it will be anti-clockwise. So then what will happen? The screw will be in upward direction though. So then A n will be in upward direction. So this is the way you can able to use this right-handed screw rule for identifying the direction of the cross product. So next one. Now we know the vector A, which is nothing but already we know that Ax bar plus Ay bar plus Az bar. Similar way, B bar is equal to Bx Ax bar plus By bar plus Bz bar, and this can be expressed as So how can you able to identify the cross product between them mathematically if you know the complete vectors? So this is the way. So modulus of the unit vectors in the direction of x, y, z. What those are? Small ax, small ay and small az. So that we have to write in the top row thereafter the first vector components. What is the first vector here? A bar. So A bar components, capital AX, capital AY, capital AZ. And thereafter in the last row we have to write the second vector. Suppose if you multiply B with A, then what we have to write? In the second row we have to write B vector components, in the third row we have to write A bar components. So this is the way. So the result will not be same for A bar cross B bar and B bar cross A bar. So it won't follows the commutative law. So that one we can see later. So this is the way you can able to identify A bar cross B bar mathematically if you know the complete vectors. So the next one is commutative law. So we already discussed about this. Vector product or cross product cannot follow the commutative law. So then what are the applications of cross product? So here the great mistake, it was cross product. Make it change it to cross product. So using cross product of two vectors, the area that formed by the vectors can be identified. The area that formed by the vectors can be identified. So let us take two vectors, A bar and B bar. So these two vectors may form a triangle. So by joining the top edges of the vectors, we can able to form a triangle. So by calculating the magnitude of A bar cross B bar, we can able to identify the triangle that was formed by A bar and B bar. So next one, using cross product, direction of the area that occupied by two vectors can also be identified. So what is the direction here? So we need to talk about two. First one is magnitude and the second one is direction. That means the magnitude will give the result of the triangle that was formed by A and B bar. So it will give us the result of area. So that area direction will give us the result of A bar cross B bar direction. So that you can see in the problems, no problem. Just you need to remember here. So by using A bar cross B bar, we need to identify both area as well as direction of the triangle that was formed by A bar and B bar. So next take a problem here. So a triangle that was formed with 3 points, A point, B point and C point. And thereafter we need to identify RAB cross RAC. So how can you able to identify RAB? Before that we need to identify small RA, small RB, small RC. What is small RA? 2AX minus 5AY plus AZ bar. What small RB? Minus 3AY plus 2AX plus 4AZ bar. So RA, RB. So how we can able to identify RAB bar? So RB bar minus RA bar. So that we can able to identify RAB bar. So similar way RAC. Thereafter we need to identify a cross product between them. So see that this is the application he was given here. The area of the triangle. How we can able to identify the area of the triangle? After finding the RAB cross RAC, we can able to identify two vectors of the triangle. So that by finding the modulus for RAB cross RAB, we can able to identify the area of the vector. So a unit vector perpendicular to the plane which the triangle is located. So that means it is the direction of the triangle. So how can you able to identify the direction? It is the second application of cross product. So if we can able to identify the unit vector, for what? The result of RAB cross RAC will give some vector. So if you can able to identify that vector, unit vector, so that you can able to identify the unit vector that is perpendicular to the plane that contains triangle. So this is the way you can able to do this problem. So this is today's class. So dear students, please do these problems at home. If not, just leave it. I will post in the next video. No problem. Thank you for today.